My name's Arthur Knight, ex-Boilermaker, just a lay person. Yet, ironically, strange to say, I can give you answers the experts can't give you. Just by taking the time to sit back and scratching beneath the surface and get the answers. It's amazing to me. See, most people sally forth. You should take a step or two backwards sometimes before you go forward. But most people don't do that. They just sally forth with whatever's been dished up and don't think. And that, in the end, causes a bigger waste of time than anything else. Going around in circles the rest of your life. Well, because you haven't stopped to take the time to think the thing out. Now, what is the universe? Very simple. It's only made up of matter and space, which is indestructible. Who was it said, all is matter and nothing else matters? Well, they weren't far wrong. Matter disintegrates and combines eternally. We are only one little combination. Even as not only as an individual, as a species even. Gone forever. We think we're important, we're not. Well, you are important in your own little realm. Make the most of it, mate. Out there, make the most of it. Don't waste your time with all these crackpots and gurus, right, with magic, supernatural. Waste of time. You've got a certain sensory ability and knowledge, and use it wisely in the right direction. You can have a mountain of knowledge, you can have a brain as big as a pumpkin, right, and still be stupid. Yet you might have a brain as big as a bloody, right, what can I say, as a bird. Right? And be very smart. It's how you use your brain that counts. Not how much knowledge you got, it's the kind of knowledge. And it's amazing how little you need to know to get the basic truth. As I've just said, two simple things. Matter and space. Indestructible. Eternal. That's all the ingredients of the universe, and cycles and recycles. That's it. You hear all these experts looking for the origin of life. Well, you can always in a circle you can always find an origin in the beginning, can't you, in a circle? But there's always a beginning before it, isn't there, and an end after it, right? Well, that's all the universe is. Infinite time. Always a beginning and always an end. Infinite, right? So there's no first beginning. There's a relative beginning, right? There's a beginning of when you make a motor car, isn't there? Beginning of the car. But before the car was built, there was always all these atomic structures, wasn't there? That was needed to build the car. And you can go on and on before that. So there's no first beginning, right? And the secondary beginnings are not the 100% truth, right? You don't know what was before it. I think we would be amazed if we had the ability to go back 1 trillion years to what our atoms were doing, the atoms that make our body, the particles, of where they were and what they were doing, and the history all the way through. I think we'd be amazed. Not at the, what can I say, complexity of it, but the simplicity of it. That's what's amazing. You see what we see about, it's only matter moving, motion of matter, moving and combining, that's all. That's all it is. What are you experts going on with? Quarks and quantum mechanics, the uncertainty principle. I tell you what, mate, in nature there's nothing that's uncertain. The only thing is uncertain is their bloody estimation of things, right? But nature's not uncertain. Now, what are you talking about in quantum mechanics? You're talking about human behaviour, or you're talking about the structure of matter particles? What are you talking about? I don't think, anyhow, my observation of you guys, I don't think you know what you're talking about at all most of the time, right? Strings, quarks, right? Charms, you name it, the particles, right? You've got to have something to justify your existence here, to keep your job in the uni, something to justify. Some stupidity that the lay people can't understand, and therefore they think you're intelligent. That's what it is. Bedazzle them with a lot of BS, right? And make out how intelligent you are. And half the time you're only a bloody paraphrasing someone else and reading it from a bloody book. And the person that wrote the book wasn't with it either. That's all it is. If you were fair dinkum, you'd come out and say, right, there's only matter and space, which are indestructible and always existed. Out the window goes religion, gods, all the rest of it. All the supernatural, magic. A lot goes out the window. You wouldn't do that, would you? Eh? You wouldn't be going to tell them not to have prayers in Parliament. They're supposed to be running the country, intelligent people, having prayers in Parliament. And there's these religious gurus waving bowls of smoke around, right? And going on with all their bloody stupidity. Right? You just haven't got the guts to stand up and say, listen, you've even got degrees on theology in the university. That says enough. That's enough to tell you how stupid we are. And you may think I'm very brash. You may think I'm very rude and crude, right? But if you soap these people, you're giving tacit support to them. They need to be pulled up. They need to be humiliated and shown how ridiculous and stupid they are. They need that. Right? Because if you don't, you're nearly as stupid as they are. Sorry to have to say it. Anyhow, I'm going to close now, but I'm going to go on YouTube. Right? And boy, oh boy, I tell you what, I'll make your hair curl. And I don't have to be a genius to do it. All I have to do is simple deduction. And I can show you the complete and absurdity, the twisting of the meaning of words, all this sort of thing they do in science. And a lot of our social mores, right? Can't believe it. And what makes it more incredible is that I am just a lay person. And if I can see it, something's very, very fishy in the higher echelons. Very fishy. Be different if I was a genius, right? And I'm not. I'm just like you, people are listening to me. Just a lay person. The only difference is I've just pointed my brain in a different direction, that's all. It's not bigger than yours, probably not as big. Just pointed it in the right direction. And I'm coming up with the answers. Anyhow, I'll click off at that.